Salesforce admin and developer responsibility. Now, what Salesforce admin does and what a developer does. We have two members, Salesforce developer, Salesforce admin, and Salesforce developer. What is the part of the responsibilities of the Salesforce admin? What are the responsibilities of the Salesforce developer? Now, before that, let's understand what is Salesforce admin. Now, Salesforce admin is this admin work, whoever is the admin people are there, they work with the stakeholders to define the system requirement and customize the Salesforce platform. Now we have a different stakeholders are there. Now we have a stakeholders with these stakeholders, like a admin team directly work with different stakeholders. So stakeholders can be internal stakeholders, can be a client, whoever it might be, they will work with a different stakeholders in order to define what can be implemented, in order to define the system requirement. System requirement is nothing but how can I make the system stabilize? Now something is not working, or something is broken all of a sudden, and it's for one user it is happening. Now in that case, they will start working on it. How can I make the system stable for one user? So basically they will work on the system requirements and customize the Salesforce platform. In simple way, if I have to say, admin team is the one who works on the declarative basis. So they work on the declarative basis. So declarative basis is nothing but they only work on the configuration. So only configuration and no code. So they only work on the configuration, no code. The admin team only works on the declarative basis with the clicks. That means only configuration. With the clicks, they will play with all the activities in the Salesforce. They will not touch any code of inside the Salesforce. Now let's see the responsibilities of the admin. So when I say only the click is nothing but it's a configuration. Whatever I can do using the clicks, all the configuration, they will start working on it. Example, they will work on the creating objects, fields, tabs. Those are the clicks. Simple, I can do it. Admin will be involved there. And also they will be involved in creating the page layouts. So they will be creating the page layouts and they will start working on the workflow rules, data validation, object customization. They will create it as well as if there is something wrong with the workflow rules or the data validation, they will start debugging the configuration. So that debugging also can be done using the clicks. And they will work on the reports and dashboard. Also, they will monitor the reports and dashboard, which is the easiest report. So reports are there, the complex reports are there. When I say complex, we need to implement some formula fields, right? Some in the report, we have to create a few fields. So these can be done by the admin team. So they will create, as per the requirement, they will create a reports and dashboard. Also, they maintain it. Sometimes if something is broken, reports are broken. So they will start working on the debugging on the reports and dashboard. And also admin team works on the critical issues. Critical issues is nothing but after the deployment. If in case like after the deployment, everything is working fine, but all of a sudden in 2 months, client has raised the issue. Now that issue is permission level. Maybe the permissions are not there. The user is not able to see the records or a data. They are not able to see the data in the record. In that case, they will start debugging the issue. That is a critical issue. So they will work on any critical issue that are raised by the client. Now creating a user's profiles permission set based on the requirement, and also they will monitor this. They will monitor in a sense, they will always keep a note on that, how many users are there in the system, how many profiles we have it, how many permission sets we have it, and how these permission sets, whom we have assigned it. Everything admin team will take a note of it. And also if it is needed, they will debug the profiles and users, like profiles in a sense, like what are the access the users is having, whether it is having a less access or a more access, everything can be, they will be debugging it. Now, creating or debugging the flows, they will create a flows, which is a very basic flows. If it is a like a calling the code, those kind of things they will not do. So in case there is a flow that is calling the code, and if the admin cannot understand that flow, they will pass it to the developers to fix that issue. So initial phase, the admin team will take over the case or a ticket to start at least analyzing the flows. If they are not able to resolve the issue, they will pass it to the developers. So these are the different responsibilities, like all the configuration, like whatever you can do with the clicks, everything can be done by the admin. So those are the admin responsibilities, like a data modeling and data management, everything can be done, like a data loader. Data loader also can be done by the admin. So data management is nothing but pushing the data, like importing the data to the Salesforce or exporting data from the Salesforce, right? All the data management, which is we can be doing it using the data loader. So admin can be work on the data loader part of it, which is admin responsibilities. Now, the next one is developer responsibilities. Before understanding the developer responsibilities, what the developer will do? Developers will work on the programmatically. Now, it's a developers are both declarative, programmatical. That means they can work on the all the programmatic, what are the programmatic will be involved, which is related to the code. That means if I have to implement some logic in Apex or LWC, right, or anything that has to be implemented in the code wise, everything programmatically, they will be dealing with the Salesforce developer. Salesforce developer will work with the internal stakeholders. So when I say internal stakeholders is nothing but business analyst, right? Project manager, right? Sometimes if it is needed, they work with the architect. So developer does not have a direct relations with the clients. So developers always have a discussion with the BA, project manager, architect. Based on that, they will get a clarity on the ticket or they will get a clarity on the user story. Once they have a clarity, they will start implementing the code. So whichever the one which is involved in the programmatical implementation, that can be done by the Salesforce developer. Now, Salesforce developers roles are anything that related to the development, like a programmatical, like developing the application as per the requirement. Like we need to develop. When I said developing the application is nothing but everything that involves everything, like a automation flow, business flow, any business flow I wanted to implement, business logic I need to implement in order to automate the business process. Now those things can be also part of the developer responsibility. So developing the application responsibility, or else integrating the platform with other system. Now, sometimes we might have to work, the Salesforce we need to work on the other system, right? Though we are working in the Salesforce and we are implementing the changes or writing the code in Salesforce, but the requirement is we need to bring the data from the other system. When I say other system, possible that other system might be the SAP or might be the .NET or might be the Python, anything that is, or maybe the AWS. So anything that is a third-party system. From this third-party system, if I have to pull the data, that means I need to pull the data to the Salesforce. If I have to pull the data to the Salesforce, we need to integrate between the Salesforce and these systems. It is importing it, as well as if you want to send from the Salesforce to the another system. So that is also can be done. So in order to implement this kind of integrating the platform, I'm integrating the Salesforce to the another systems. Another system could be any third-party system or SAP or anything that could be. So if you are implementing it, in order to implement, developer has to be involved there in order to integrate the platform with other system and customizing the Salesforce environment. When I say customizing the Salesforce environment, by default, Salesforce is providing the default functionality, right? On top of it, if we want to, like, a default functionality is nothing but Salesforce by default allowing us to create a basic level of structure. Now, if that does not fulfill the requirement of the client, then we might have to go for implementing the business logic using the code. So that is customizing the Salesforce environment. If you want to customize any Salesforce environment, that can be done by the developers, right? So anything that involves the code is developer responsibilities, right? Writing the code in the Apex or a Aura or a LWC, these all activities are involved in the development. So these are the responsibilities of the developers.